Well, good evening, friends. Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another live CGC unboxing. This one's an impromptu CGC unboxing. I decided to do this like what? 30 minutes ago. I said, you know what? I got these boxes. I want to get them done and unpacked and showcased so I can sort them and get them back to their owners. So I figured I'd get on here and do this right away. Guys, I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor. I'm a comic book presser. I'm also an authorized CGC dealer located way up in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. And like I said, whenever comics come back from CGC, the grading company known as CGC, I come on here, do a virtual show and tell, and display all these comics for you, my awesome clients and awesome subscribers to enjoy. All right, well, you know what, guys? The last one I did was a couple days ago. It was a pretty good unboxing. We did 3 boxes, not one crack, which was a beautiful thing. If you're a regular here, you know that has been an ongoing saga. Hopefully, we'll have a great unboxing today as well. I know one batch of books here is pretty awesome. If you remember, Mike sent in some pre-screens about a month ago or so. A lot of them had to go back to get reslabbed. But anyways, if you recall, I believe out of, I think, 16 books, 15 came back 9/8. Well, there were an additional 12 or 13 more books. So those were custom labels. These are not custom label books. And some pretty good results again. So let's get started with that right now, guys. And while I'm getting ready, why don't you hit that like button, the subscribe button too, and hit that notification bell. Because when I go live, you know, impromptu like I did tonight, you'll be the first to know I'm going live. All right, let's go over to the overhead cam. Here we go. First one we see, 9.8 copy, Vincent Vane. Awesome book to get a 9.8. This book I see quite frequently here at the shop. And it's a book that, even though it's a square bound book, can get some great results out of this one. So here's a great example of such in a 9.8. And again, these I believe are Michael's books. So, and I still have to check for cracks. And you know what? So far, again, so good. Next, we have a Rocket Raccoon 1 and 4 from the miniseries in a 9.8 as well. Not bad at all. We have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. Sorry, Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did I get you excited there, thinking you were going to get an original TMNT #1? No, Tales of the TMNT #1 in a 9.8. Now, again, these were all pre-screened at 9.8. Oh, it's a great copy of Hulk 224. I love this vintage, late 70s Hulk, 9.8 white pages. Nice. We've got also a Hulk 347 from 1988 and a 9.8. When this stack gets a little bit higher, I'm going to be putting these back. I'll go over to the chat room. I know there's probably not going to be a lot of guys here today because, again, this is a very impromptu video. So if you have any questions, guys, great opportunity. You have me all to yourselves. Ask away any questions you might have. And if you're new here, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I love to meet all my my subscribers, and especially if they're coming in from far, far away. I love hearing that. Okay, so next we have a nice copy of Captain America 216. Look at that. No cracks at all. Guys, I'm really excited about this, and a 9.8 as well. Cool crossover with the Human Torch. I'm a swig of water here. All right, I'm going to put my chair up a little bit. My chin's being cut off here. Okay, so this stack is high. So now I have to go over to the to the chat and see who's here. Again, I doubt we'll see a lot of people here today, but let's have a look, see and see if anybody's. No, we got a couple of guys. Brian's here. Hey, Brian, how are you? I did get your appointment, and a lot of your books are in, so I'll bring them all on Saturday for you to pick up, which is great. If you tuned in at my last unboxing, I wouldn't say all of them, but probably half of the books belong to Brian. A lot of X-Men books, right? Eric is also here. Another one. I know Eric again, right? That's 5 boxes. Again, I believe that because CGC was kind of slow getting these ones back to me, they're all going to start coming back relatively quick, which is okay. As long as there's no cracks, I'm happy. Very, very happy. No, I'm trying to get my camera centered here. Dave's here as well. Hello, Dave. Good to see you. There. We got a lot more books to go. If you guys just getting here right now, I have gone through about six or so comics. I've got another full box here and another box after that, so don't go anywhere. Next we have, and again, I love this cover. I think you guys are gonna love this cover too. Famous Captain America Punisher crossover right here. 9.8 Captain America 241. Wow. Great copy of Defenders Annual #1. Again, included in that pre-screen order, Mike's pre-screen order, in a 9.8 white pager. Whoa, where am I going with that? A lot of guys are often concerned with these giant size books. You have to understand, these books have glue on the edges as well as staples. And there are common problems with these books, with these square bound books. And when I say problems, I'd rather say defects with the books. And these I think are acceptable defects. Defects that CGC they're okay with. Such as, because the staples are here and there, oftentimes you might have a little staple embossing going on here, or a staple indent here, and a staple indent there. Oftentimes, let's see if I can, does it have it? This one's not so bad actually, but yeah, well, you can see it a little bit. The light hits it. Yeah, you can see little staple indents here and down here as well. Also having, pinched areas, waviness in that area on the back. Oftentimes you'll see crunches. Let's see if I can, I'm on the wrong side there. Yeah, I am. Okay. Like along the edge, you'll see sometimes imperfection along the edge. You can kind of see imperfection right about there. You know what I mean? And some guys are probably driving themselves crazy trying to get it as perfect as they possibly can. Stop. The giant size books, again, they have inherent problems. CGC's aware of it. They've always been aware of it. And to be honest, I find they grade these books a little easier than the others, normal books. I've gotten back some giant size X-Men ones. I'm surprised at the grade they get, considering, some of those inherent defects I'm talking about. But it happens. They know it. They know it's there. So don't be so aggressive. If you are pressing your own books and you get one of these giant size books, don't be too aggressive with them, thinking that you're going to get them perfectly straight, because oftentimes you don't. And also, a trick to pressing to be honest, guys, and this was not meant to be a how-to video on how to press. How can I say this? You want to make it look as though the book has not been pressed. Does that make sense? Press the book, of course, but don't overdo it. Don't turn the book into a pancake and overwork the book. I try to take the book to a certain point and then I leave it be, and some guys I think go a little too far with it. And oftentimes you can damage your book if you go too far as well. But anyways, it's nice to make the book look as though it has never been pressed. And sometimes leaving little indications on there, the book is as natural as possible, is a good thing to do. Okay, let's keep going here. Now one of these books was rejected. And so when you get a reject in a pre-screen, they come back in a kind of a box, a container like this. And only one book in this order was rejected. So that's pretty good. We'll keep going here. Got a few more 9/8. We got Dungeons and Dragons. I think Mike was hoping that movie would do a little bit better, although I heard the film was not that bad. Also in a 9.8 white page. Right there. Again, it was 12 or 13 books. I'm not exactly sure, again, how many precisely. Another one, we got TMNT number 25 and a 9.8. And these slabs are looking frigging perfect. I got to contact Crystal. If you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that one of the ladies I've been working with at CGC is named Crystal. And the only time I would contact Crystal is when I was angry or distraught that books were coming back damaged. The slabs are coming back damaged, not the books themselves. So you know what? I'm going to give her a quick email and tell her things are looking great. You know, it's nice to let them know when they're doing a good job too, not just only complain when things are going bad, but also give accolades when things are going right. Okay. Next we have, well, that's a 9.8. Okay. Again, a 9.8 Deadpool #1. I don't think this is Mike's. That's a Deadpool #1 with the Notorious B.I.G. Variant cover. And another one as well. But these are not Mike's. This is a nice box of 9.8 so far. Holy cow. And then we got yet another one. 3 9/8 out of the park there. Bang, bang, bang. That's great. Again, I got to pack these guys up. Let me pack these up. Go back to the chat. Not a lot of you here again. I know. That's what happens when you get a really quick impromptu video. So cool books, Doc. Thanks, Chuck. Good to see you. Only tried one of those giant size books and got a 9.6 for a giant size Spider-Man #2. Yeah, you know what? Again, they're very intimidating, I think, to a lot of people. But the principles are pretty much the same. But the key is you got to protect that spine. You can't crush that spine. And I've seen some guys crush it so the spine becomes like a point because they're using too much pressure and they're not supporting the spine. You got to support that spine. And like Eric says, no pancaking. Exactly. No pancaking. Pancakes are good on Sunday morning with some nice maple syrup, but they're not good in our comic books. So don't press a book so much so that it resembles a pancake. James is here too. How you doing, James? Good to see you. Lord Thoth showed up with short notice. Sorry about that, Lord Thoth. Again, it was a impromptu video. I just kind of was looking at those two boxes. They arrived today, and I said, you know what? I have to. I'm gonna get these books done. Sooner I get them done, the sooner my daughter can sort. The sooner I can get them back to their owners. All right, let's keep going here. We're just over halfway done the first box. And you know what? So far, all we've had in this box so far is 9/8 and 1 reject. And we have another 9/8 here. We have an M&M variant. Let me put the screen on for you all, and you can enjoy that. And we also have another 9/8 and a really nice 9/8 at that. We have a Marvel Edge of the Spider-Verse #2 and a 9/8. Been seeing these come back a lot in 9/8 lately, which is fantastic. I wonder when these 9/8s are going to end. Are they going to end? And I spoke too soon. It is now ended. We have a Wolverine #1 newsstand copy in a 9.4 limited series newsstand copy, guys. Again, remember, if you have a book like this and it has the Spider-Man in the bottom corner, then it's a direct edition. If it's a newsstand copy, you can tell it's a newsstand copy if it has a barcode at the bottom. Okay. We've got a Power Pack #1 in a 9.8, another 9.8, fantastic. And yet another 9.8 and a heavy hitter 9.8 right there. X-Men 266, wonderful. And I think I'm going to take these back and stack them and get the other ones ready as we go back to the chat. Brian says, hey, Kevin, for my next submission, can we wait and send my books with mics? Yeah, really, eh? Listen, I'm telling you, I have a couple of clients, Mike being one of them, that's uber critical of the books. And he goes through them with a fine-tooth comb. And, yeah, he's very particular about them. And he picks winners, right? And I know other guys that are very similar to that are very, very anal with their books, making sure that the books are... making sure the books are just right or they have the right kinds of defects. No matter what you do, a spine tick, if it's a soft spine tick, you can go away. But if it's a sharp spine tick, if color is lost, it's not going away ever. So, I mean, Mike is very critical of that. He makes sure the books are the right candidates. And he's been hitting it out of the park lately, so good for him. I was very happy with him. Now, another client just gave me another 24, Eddie, gave me 24 moderns to go for pre-screen with no pressing. He was confident the books were going to have a good chance of getting 9/8 as they are. So I sent them off yesterday. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he gets some 9/8. That's another guy. It's Eddie. And they were nice books. They're all modern, but don't know. And I didn't inspect them. He just wanted them to go. So I just sent them. Okay, moving right along. We got 3 more. We got 3 more here. Eric says, has anyone ever seen anyone grade those comics that had the records inside? Obviously, one would remove the record before sending. Just thought was odd. No one has ever done that, or nor have I seen. Warren, hey, Warren, how's it going? Are you talking about the golden record reprints of like Journey to Mystery 83, Amazing Spider-Man #1, and the Fantastic Four #1, and actually Avengers #4? Those are all golden record reprints. I don't remember if you can have it graded with the record. I've only ever sent them without the record. So if the record is intact, I have a feeling they do remove the record, to be honest, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe somebody here could answer that, or someone who's watching this later could answer that. That'd be fantastic. Okay, so we're moving right along. We have the last 4 books from this box. Another box to go. We have an Invaders #1 in a 9.0. We also have a TMNT Adventures #1 in a 9.0 as well. And we finish this one off with a book we don't see very often. A scratch? What is that? Sorry, I see something inside that. I think it's a crack, but anyways, Captain EO 3D #18, Michael Jackson, and a 9.2. There you go. I don't know what the hell that is. You see that? Bottom, right there. That box is perfect, except for this, but I don't know what that is. I'm not sure if it's a crack on the inside, because there's no. It's not cracked. Like I can't. My finger doesn't get caught in it, so I don't know. I think that may have to do. I'm not sending them back anymore, unless it's a major crack, like a damaged crack, like the book is in jeopardy. Otherwise, yeah, I'm done with that. So too much work. Too much work. Eric says, no one likes the ASM 124 with Man Wolf that had a record inside, and others like Star Trek 1 and Planet of the Apes. Oh, man, Eric, I don't remember, man. I don't remember. Did all Spider-Man 124s have an album inside? I don't recall that. All right, guys, I'll get the second box ready. We're just getting here now, guys. We're on box #2, coming up shortly. Gonna move all these orders over here. Let me shove this out of the way. Virtually a crack-free box. Boy, I'm really orange today. Let me see if I can adjust the lights here. Hold on. That's a little bit better. I was looking like I got a really good tan going on there. All right. Mine are going back. Round 3. Really? Yeah, nice, eh? Well, the books we're getting lately are better, so let's hope it stays that way. Chuck says they're talking about the Power Record books with the 45 inside of them. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that. I can check. I have a cup, but I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know either. I haven't seen any books submitted with an actual album inside. Not recently, anyways. All right. A lot of different orders here. All right. And we are starting with an X-Men #135 and a 9.4. This is the last box, guys, of an impromptu unboxing. We're off with a lot of X-Men's here. We got an X-Men 131 and a 9.0. We've got an Amazing Spider-Man number 210 and a 9.2. We have an X-Men 165. Checking it out in a 9.4. Wow, here we go. 9.8 on this box. We've got an X-Men number 145 and a 9.8. I'll do one more. Wow, another one. 9.8 copy. Something inside the book here, it looks like. Oh, it's chipped. This one's chipped good. 9.8 white pages of X-Men 158. First appearance of Rogue in the title. Now this one is cracked up pretty good. This one, see, this is cracked. His is cracked in shipping. Now, see all the damage up here? That's different, right? That's during transport. So that one's going to go back. So I'm going to put that one off to the side. There it is again, if you want to see it. I'll put that one over here. Let's hope there's no more. Let me just check the other one to make sure there was nothing on that one either. Oh. See, this one has a bit of it on the edge too. Now I see it. Let me see the other one. This one's good. Of course, the 298s, right? Of course, the 298s. But this one's not really that bad. Yeah, I'm on the fence on this one. The other one's pretty smashed up. Oh, another 9.8. Look at that. A 9.8 copy of 147. I'm going to check for any more damage on this one. This looks good. Yeah, again, this one has the exact same little line there. Yeah, that's not going back for that. That's too minor. It's got a little line right there on the edge. You can't even see it really. Anyways, it's a 9.8, beautiful copy of 147. Now my stack is really high, so I'm going to have to pack it up and go back to the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying, if anything. Eric says, yes, thanks, Chuck. Haha, the Power Records book. I've never seen one graded. Just curious if anyone had. They came out in the 70s, if I recall correctly. Yeah, I don't recall that myself either. So I'm not sure about those. So get some nice X-Men books there. Lord Thoth, I agree with you. Looks fine to me too. Just that one is I'm gonna send back. It is kind of cracked and smashed, but a little line here and there. No. It's the way it's gonna be. David Mason's here. Wow, been a while. Not sure if you want to answer this, but when your clients send in 25 books, what is the average cost of the bill usually? Well, David, it depends on what, what are they having done? Are they grading all? Are they having all the books pressed? Are they all modern books? Because everything, and you can figure it out yourself. Just go to my website. If you go to my website, I have all the prices there, so you can just kind of figure it out yourself. I mean, but if you're doing 25 books and you're having them, where's my calculator here? Say you're doing 25 moderns, like we just saw here, the 20, and you want them all pressed and cleaned. Well, now pressed and cleaned times 25 is $750 just to clean and press them. That's 25 books. So $750. Put that aside, $750, and then $50 now to grade them times 25. So $1250. You're looking around $2,000 plus HST for 25 books. It is not cheap. It is not a cheap endeavor. And that, my friend, again, is if you're doing moderns. If you're going into the economy tier or the standard tier or into the higher tiers, you're talking thousands of dollars if you're going to do 25 books. I think when I started doing this years ago, my average bill was probably like $400, $500, $600, $700. Now I'd say my average bill is closer to $2,000 to $3,000. To be honest. Now I've got guys sending 1 or 2 or 3 books, and the one book thing, I'm really on the fence about getting rid of that. I've been talking to other pressers too, And the one book submission, unless it's a big book, like a very valuable book, it's not worth the energy to do all the paperwork for it and everything. You're losing money. So I might do like a 3-book minimum or something like that. I haven't done that yet, but that's where I'm probably going to be going. But not everybody is submitting 25 books. I mean, most guys submit between 10 and 15 books usually. But yeah, hey, look, I just sent almost 400 books to CGC for one client. So yeah, and the bill was ugly. The bill was very, very ugly. But yeah. And I spoke to a client today. Jeremy called me up today, and we were talking about, and he's on the fence as to what books he should do. And I said this to him, and I'll say it to you and everybody else. I go, you got to really, be careful what you're sending in. You go over the books. You got to do some research and make sure the books you're sending in are worth sending in. Not every book should be graded. Now, again, everyone has different reasonings as to why they're having their books graded. Some people are doing it for sentimental reasons. Other people are doing it because it's an investment or whatever. They think it's an investment, or they want to have their collection graded so that if something happens to them, their family can easily know or look up the value of the books. But that being said, I usually say if the book is not worth at least $500, after the grading, don't bother. That's what I say. But not everybody listens to me, okay? Not everybody listens to me. A lot of guys will just do it because they want to do it. Yeah, it's kind of a rule of thumb, unless the book is of some value, I wouldn't bother, but, Chuck Hensey says, looks like there's a CBCS with that ASM on Go Collect. Oh, there you go. Okay, go check that out. Dave says, I need money. Don't we all? And it doesn't grow on trees. Eric Williams, 3-book minimum or single book value more than 1,000 seems sensible. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning. That's kind of where I'm leaning. Because honestly, like, every single client gets, I'm going to tell you honestly, my CGC bills are astronomical. My CGC bills are astronomical. I do not see very much of that money. I'll be really honest with you. I upped my prices a little bit on the grading to try to recoup some of my time there. Like we had that discussion earlier, but yeah, it's a very expensive process. It's time consuming on my part to do it, and I'm flabbergasted to see how much my Visa bills are and how little of that I get and how much of it goes to CGC. But hey, that's their business, right? That's what they do. But yeah, to do all the paperwork and to do all the packing and then guys will want them shipped back. You want one book shipped back. Okay, another 25 minutes of my time to get the book all organized, do a shipping label. It's not worth it. So yeah, I think a 3-book minimum is probably where I'm heading. Okay, we're here to see books. Let's look at some more books here. We had some nice 9/8 there. Any more 9/8? Let's see. We get a nice 9.4 copy of the first appearance of Kitty Pryde, another X-Men book. I wonder if these are more of Mr. Bowman's books. Are they? I don't know, because I know he had a lot of X-Men books. These could be more of his. We've got a nice Amazing Spider-Man 300, a white pager, in a 9.2, and that's a newsstand copy. I mentioned that earlier. There it is right there. It's a newsstand copy. Again, why is the newsstand copy so much more desirable than a direct copy? I like that picture of Spider-Man at the bottom. It looks nicer than a barcode. Yes, it does look nicer than a barcode, but the barcode has become, and at one time the direct copies were more desirable. Now it's the newsstand copies that are more desirable. And again, it's because newsstand copies were purchased where? At a newsstand or at a magazine shop, not a specialty comic book shop. So dudes or kids or whoever were buying these back in the day from a newsstand, they weren't taken care of as well as they would have been in a comic book store, in a specialty store. So less of these exist, less of them survived, especially in high grade. So if you got a high grade copy in a newsstand, people want them and they're worth more. Okay. Here is the nice copy of Hulk 182. This is the image that we had on on our thumbnail in a 9.2. I think I've got a copy in a 9.2 as well somewhere. Got Ultimate Fallout number 4, another one. And this one comes back at a 9.6. I don't know if this was a price bump or, oh, you know what? Is this? No, I don't know. I don't price bump. I don't know if this is actually a hike in grade. I'd have to look, because I'm not sure whose book it is, but it's a 9.6. Nice copy, that's for sure. Right there. Hopefully it was a grade bump for someone. I'll be honest, I get a lot of these books coming back for grade bumps because of that, of the line on the back, the indentation that's caused by the poly bag. So a lot of guys are trying to get the book bumped. Well, this is a nice copy of Batman 423. It's a really nice copy. It's a 9.4. I could have seen that being a little higher. I have to inspect that again. But a 9.4 white pager. Okay. I'll do one more, then we'll go over to the chat window again. We've got a 9.6 copy of Batman Adventures 12. I have a feeling this one, and this one were all crack and represses. I think I'm not 100% sure, but that combination of books I recall. So I could be wrong, but I think so. And if so, I think this might have been an 8.5 or a 9 or something like that. I think. I'm not sure, so I don't want to toot my own horn because I'm not 100% sure. But anyways, nice copy to 9.6. I'll go over to the chat window because, again, my stack is really high. All right, what are you guys saying? Yeah, Eric's good idea. David says, hi, you get points on your credit card. Yes, I do. But you know what? I'll tell you. I haven't touched my points in 2.5 years. And we're going to we redeemed the points finally, and it's all the points have accumulated in 2 years. We've got 4 flights, just the flights to Orlando this summer for me and the kids and the wife. And we're looking, I have enough for maybe 2 more flights, and that's it. So I don't know, I thought that was not enough for the amount of guys. I don't want to tell you what my Visa cards are like, but usually every month I have to pay between $18,000 and $30,000 a month for CGC bills. That's a lot of money and a lot of points, you'd think, right? But I don't know, maybe my point card isn't as good as I thought it was. Let's keep going here. Is it worth it then? Is it worth it? I'm not sure what you mean, Lord Thoth. Brian says, some of these books are mine, but I think the only X-Men of mine so far is a 266. That's the other box, I think. Man, live ads have been irritating lately. Okay, maybe I'm going to have to see about getting rid of those live ads. So you guys, is it really bothering you guys? I don't want you guys to tune out because of live ads. So I'll see if I can adjust that. Can I adjust it from here? Viewer activity, stream settings. Enable. No, I don't think I can do it from here. But my next stream, I'm going to adjust that and see if I can. There are some settings for that. I'll see if I can turn down or tone down the live ads. I don't mind ads at the beginning, at the end, or beginning, middle, or whatever. But every minute, I don't want live ads. The Ultimate Fallout 4 is mine. So was a new slab. Brian Bowman, at least I think it is. Sent with the Hulk 182. That's awesome. Lord Thoth, is it worth to do CGC even with all the costs? Oh, I see. Well, that's just it. It's like I said. You have to figure it out. You have to sit down and do your homework and say, okay, here, I've got this Hulk 182 raw. And then you have to figure out, okay, the book is probably going to be around whatever, an 8.5, a 9, a 9.2, a 3.5, whatever you think the grade is. Do your research and see what those books are going for, graded and raw. And excuse me, if it makes sense to go ahead and grade it because of the cost, and yeah, it is. But you don't want to invest $150, $200 into a book if the book's only worth $150. It makes no sense, right? But if you got a book in your collection that's worth $500 or $600 and you're going to pay $200 to get it graded and worked on, but it's going to be graded and the value is going to be there, then I think it's probably worth doing. But again, that's where the due diligence comes in, and you have to really do your homework. And it's a lot of work. I'm not saying it's not. It's a lot of It's a lot of research and whatever, you know, but necessary. You know, for some guys, money's no object. Some guys, they can afford it. They can just do it. They don't care. And that's fine too, right? Again, it just depends on what you're, you know, I know some guys, they have original collections since they were kids and they just want them graded. Whether the grade is crappy or good, they just want it graded. They don't care what the cost is. It's sentimental. They've had these books since they were 5 years old, 6 years old, whatever. They've had it since they were teenagers and they want their entire collection in a slab. Well, you got to pay to get it slabbed, and you do it. It kind of reminds me, guys, it kind of reminds me of you know, like I have an old Camaro, an 81 Camaro. If you see me on Facebook, I have a picture of it there. I probably have more in that car now than it's actually worth, which is something I never wanted to happen. But the engine went on it last year, and that cost me a little bit more than I had anticipated. And so now, you know, for a while there, I'm like, crap, I don't want to have a vehicle that's... I always liked having classic cars coming out ahead, you know, selling it and maybe making a couple of $1,000 after. Well, that's not the case right now with my Camaro. It looks like I'm in it more than it's worth. But you know what? I'm enjoying it. I drive it. I take it out. We go for little Sunday cruises. I go zip around town it all the time. I like driving it. And as I'm waiting, luckily, one just sold at Bear Jackson, exact same model as mine, same year. Now, total rotisserie restoration, sold for 100,000 US, 98,000 US. So what's that going to do? It's going to bring all the values up, just like comic books. So, you know what? As long as I'm patient, I'm probably going to be okay. I probably will, in the end, make a little something on this car down the road. But it's kind of the same as a comic thing. You know, it's like, do you do it because you love it? Because I do know some guys. I talk to a lot of guys at the car shows, and they spend, you know, they might have $100,000 into a car, and the car's with 50 grand, and they're never going to recoup that money. But guess what? It's a hobby. It's a hobby. They enjoy doing it. They don't care. There's, you know, they'll allocate so much money. You know, next year I'm going to put a new exhaust system on it. Maybe next year I'm going to add a new suspension on it. They're tinkering, they're playing, and they're spending lots of money in these parts and labor if they're not doing it themselves to install the parts. And they're never going to recoup that money. Never, ever, ever. But they love it. They love it. The same can be said with comic book collectors. I've had a collection since I was a kid. I'm going to get them all graded. I could care less if I've got $100 into a $25 book. I love that book. I've had that book since I was a kid, you know, and it also goes back to, you know, to people who don't even agree with CGC. Guys, there are some collectors who despise the whole grading process. There are some old timers, I call them old timers, but you know, Tim here in Oshawa at the Worlds Collide, he absolutely hates CGC. You go to his shop, there are no slab books in his shop. He'll crack it out. He calls them coffins. He does not like CGC, the whole principle behind it. Right? To each his own. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you on that one. You know, in regards, you know, Lord Thoth, should I do it? Should I not do it? Is it worth it? Depends who you are. Depends what you want to do with it. You know, but like anything else, I don't suggest doing it if you want to make a quick buck. That can be dangerous. If you're in it only for the money, that's where it gets kind of sticky. You can get desperate, you do things, you get things great at thinking, you know, like I know guys who crack the slabs, take the gamble on it, you know, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I wouldn't get into comic books to make a quick buck. I don't think that might not be the best place to put your money. How's that sound? Laura Thoughts says, the live ads are not just you, been happening all over lately. It must be a YouTube change. It could be. So I do apologize for that. I'll see if I can change something, though. Mike's here. How you doing? Might be my X-Men, the first Kitty Pryde. Okay, Mike, it could be. My daughter will probably sort these tomorrow or possibly Friday because she just sorted a bunch tonight. Keys are worth CGCing, in my opinion. Oh, for sure. For sure. Dave, and also prospect books. You know, if you have I sometimes, if I have a really nice copy of a book that's not necessarily a key, but it's a nice copy, I'll send it in. If I get a 9.8, I just put it away. Because it's, you know, 9.8s, you can't go wrong with 9.8s. You know, they're good. Dave says, what site is best for evaluating your raw books? The stuff I'm going to submit is more sentimental than for value. Well, there you go. The best site you can use, oh boy, there's a whole bunch of sites. eBay is a good place to start. But with eBay, remember, if a book sells for, $10, you got to see how much the shipping is too, right? If a book sells for $10 and the shipping's $25, the book sold for $35, in my opinion. At least 30. You know what I mean? You got to keep that in mind. You got to add the shipping on that as well. Am I wrong in saying that? I've always done that, but am I wrong? But eBay is the best. That's where I usually look, is eBay. It's free. It's fast. But go collect is okay. My comic price guide's not bad, right? Or you could just pick up, go to your comic store and grab a copy of Overstreet. For raw value, you could do Overstreet. But I still think eBay is more realistic than Overstreet is. Rob, hey Rob, how's it going? So many videos about comic values crashing on YouTube. Like, yeah, there are. Some are still going up though. Books are going up, books are coming down. It just depends. But it was a massive correction from last year, right? It was a massive correction from last year. Books are going for horrendous amounts of money, and now things are kind of stabilizing. The Golden Age keys and Silver Age keys to us. I mean, don't get me wrong, they've come down a little bit too, but they're still holding. They're doing all right. They're doing all right. Brouhaha, how's it going, Brouhaha? Good to see you. Robert Ends here. How you doing? Warren says, question. So I'm looking, sorry, whoops, I just jumped there. Question. So I'm looking up prices for ASM 129, let's say a 6.0 fair market value. According to cover price, it's around $1,100 American, but when you look on GPA, it's only about $150 bump. What do you mean $150 bump? You mean it's $150 more? Is that what you mean? So cover price says 1,100, and then GPA says 1250. Is that what you mean? Robert says, are these mechanical error books back? No, these are not mechanical error books. These are all fresh books coming back from CGC with no cracks. Well, we had a couple, but can't be perfect, I guess. Well, it could be, but no. I still have about 150 mechanical error books at CGC. They're just sitting there. So, Brian says, I researched my Star Wars #1 and realized the difference in value graded versus raw was the grade. I think it wasn't a big enough difference to slab it. Star Wars #1 seems to be selling well in raw. It's a key book, right? Yeah, the book's like an 8, 8.5, 7. Yeah, sell it raw. If your intention is to sell it raw. Let the next guy do all the work, right? Because again, you're spending $25 or $30 or $50, whatever the cost of the book is to press it and clean it. Then you're going to send it out. So you got to spend money to send it there and back, to get shipping fees. Then to grade the book, if it's a modern $50 Canadian, you're going to wait a couple of months. So you might have to invest like $75 to $100 before you can even sell it. So yeah, let the next guy do it. I often say that. Let the next guy do it. I always tell Roy that. Roy, my buddy Roy's always wanting to get his books graded. I said, let the next person grade it, man. Just sell the damn book and let the next person do all the work. Shipping is awful. It can be. That's for sure. No problem, Dave. Okay, so he's saying yes to what I said about that. What's the question, though? 660 fair market value according to cover price 1,100 American, but when you look at GPA, it's only $150 bump. Okay, is cover price raw books? Is that why? Because if so, I don't know. And I would go by GPA before I'd go by cover price. You can't charge. Well, you could, I guess. You could charge whatever you want for your raw books. Look at a raw book. Realistically, a raw book realistically should cost you exactly the same as a graded book minus all the grading fees, shipping fees, pressing and cleaning fees, right? But it should cost you. Should. But most guys want a better deal than that. But yeah, I mean, when the books are raw and you're paying $1,100, I don't like paying that kind of money for raw books unless it's a really special book, because yeah, who knows what's going on, and I'll buy a graded one, right? So let's keep going, guys. Quite a few books left to go here. We got another Ultimate Fallout. We got like 3 in this box, I think. Another one here, and again a 9.6. Where are you? There you are. I'll transition over. Okay, we got another ASM 300. This is a 9.6. Nothing wrong with that. Well, 9.8 would be nicer, but a 9.6 is nothing to scoff at. Got quite a few of these ASM 300s today. We got another one. Here's the third one, and this one's at a 9.4. 9.4. Wow. Now, that's interesting. I don't know. Yeah. No. I don't believe this was pressed. I don't believe this one here was pressed. And it's a Batman Spawn. It's a fat one. One of those thick ones. Anyways, 9.9. There you go. See? You don't have to press and clean your books to get a 9.9. There you go. 9.9. Yeah, it's not bad. All right, we'll keep going. We got also... there's a cool Berserker #1 as well. I don't remember. I don't recall if this was pressed or not. This one, I'm feeling it was 9.8. Yeah. What's all these scratches and stuff, man? They really gotta... Like, the scratches and the scuffs on here, too, are stupid. Like, what's going on? They need to have that film, like a piece of plastic film that you peel off to protect the books. Like, there's scratches all over these. Anyways, another 9.8 right here. So they're Batman Spawn #1. Kind of like a sketch edition in a 9.8. Yet another one. They all have scratches in the exact same place. Scuffs and scratches. In a 9.8. All right. I'll go back to the chat. I got only 3 books left, but I ran out of room here. Let me pack these babies up. Jeff says, although I did buy an Aliens #1 raw at a 9.4 price, it came back graded 9.8. That was a good day. Well, that's what you're hoping, right? You know, that's what you're hoping. I always say, if a store is selling a book over $1,000, why did they not grade the book? You know, why not grade the book? Why not grade the book and give your customers that peace of mind? You know, to drop $1,000 on a book that's raw, because I've had clients come into my shop and they say, oh, look what I bought. I bought a raw book, and it's like a 9.2 or a 9.4, and the person who sold it to them claimed it was a 9.8 contender. And I'm like, no way in hell is this book a 9.8, and they charge them 9.8 prices for a raw book. Don't buy those books from those people, guys. If you walk into a store and they're asking, like, if they're asking graded prices for raw books, go somewhere else. There's lots of fish in the sea. Don't buy from them. So, you know, I'm not paying that kind of money. You can't be bothered to send the book to get it graded to back up your claim the book's a 9.8, then go somewhere else. Let somebody else do it. I never do that. Rarely will I sell a book over $500 if it's not graded. I feel better. I feel better selling the book graded because I know it's peace of mind for my clients when I sell books, which I don't do very often, as you know. Right. We got 3 books left here. Then we'll go finish off the chat and get the heck out of Dodge. All right. Well, the ASM 9. We already looked at this one, but we have room on top of that. We also have a 7.5 copy. White Pages, Daredevil 131, first appearance of Bullseye. Actually, 2 copies. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. A 5.5 copy of the first appearance of Daredevil. Bullseye, sorry, it's getting late, guys. So yeah, all the problems that I was seeing in this bottom corner seem to be rectified now. That's 5 boxes of CGC slabs with no issues, except for 1 or 2 that have actual cracks from shipping. Finally, again, nice big scratch on there. I don't think they're going to do anything about that. Godzilla in Hell #1. Again, in a 9.8. We end the day with a 9.8. Gotta love that. White Pages, excellent. Yeah, I'm not sure if the scratches can be fixed, or I gotta call her now again. I got about 4 or 5 with scratches on them. But I think that's it for me. I think I'm tapping out when it comes to shipping books back, unless the books are severely damaged. It is what it is. Okay, here we go. The Batman 99 is mine, and it wasn't cleaned and pressed. Yes, that's what I thought. So congratulations. That's good. Wow, nice. 3 to go. Brian says none of the Batman spawns were cleaned and pressed before. Okay, good choice then. I wasn't sure. I thought one of them might have been. Lord Thaw says, I still have a great Superboy 98 that is 9+, considering bringing it to be slabbed. Yeah, bring it on by. Rob is, how's the eyeball? The eyeball's not bad. It's kind of bugs me. It kind of burns every once in a while. It probably still looks kind of red, doesn't it? Like, it looks redder than my other eye, I find. I don't know. It's not, look, the vision's better, but it's not healed perfectly yet. So, but I have 2 more appointments coming up. We'll see what they say. But thanks for asking, Rob. Warren says, thanks, Doc. Love the vids and info. Peter G's here. How you doing, Peter? Thanks, Warren. Peter, Brian, congrats on the 9-9. I don't know how CGC assigns 9-9 versus 9-8. Neither do I. I think based on that, there should be a lot of 9-9s out there. But you know what? It is what it is. All right, guys, listen, thanks so much. We've been going for about an hour or so. Time, just under an hour. But time for me to get out of here. If you haven't done so already, please consider hitting the subscribe button, the like button before you leave, and hit that notification bell so you know when I go live again next. Now, I have a canned video I want to play for you. I received some books a while back from Kevin out in California, and I will drop this video maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, maybe over the next few days. And check it out, because boy, oh boy, it's an actual special episode of What's in the Press. When I get an order like this, I think you guys are going to enjoy it very, very much. So keep your eye open for that. Again, hit that notification bell so you'll know when I do drop that video. Have a great rest of your week. Until next time, my friends, take care, all the best, and hope to see you all here again very, very soon. Have a very good night. Bye now.